Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca and I got accepted to UT Austin's Chemical Engineering program, undergraduate chemical engineering program. Currently, UT Austin's Chemical Engineering undergraduate program is ranked 5 in the nation. So I'll be sharing the stats that helped me get into UT Austin. So first of all, I'll just give you guys like a little bit of a background on who I am, or I guess like my academic pathway. So I am an early graduate. I completed high school in 3 years instead of 4 years. I am 17 right now. So I merged like my junior and my senior year together. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to refer to my last year as my senior year, just for like clarity. You know what I'm saying? So I don't keep saying junior and senior year, because that might get a little confusing. So I guess let's start with like this like hard statistics. For my GPA, when I applied to college, it was my statistics from the end of my sophomore year, which was a 4.0 out of a 4.0 unweighted and a 5.21 out of a 6 weighted. And I was also ranked 1 out of 495 students. The rank is ranked with the other applicants in that year, so I was ranked with those current juniors. I wasn't ranked with the sophomores, even though it was the end of my sophomore year. So the way that my school does GPA is that AP classes are ranked out of a 6.0, and then advanced classes are ranked out of a 5.0, and then regular classes are ranked as a 4.0. So depending on which classes you took, you could really help your GPA. So now let's move on to standardized testing. So I didn't put down my PSAT score in my resume, but I'll just tell you guys here. So I took the PSAT in 8th grade. The PSAT is taking a score from 240 to 1440. And in 8th grade, I got a 1390 with a 670 in English and a 720 in math. I didn't put that on my resume. Now for the SATs. So the SATs, because I was early graduate, I didn't even think about SAT and stuff, because I didn't even know if I wanted to graduate early until the summer before my last year. So the summer between my 10th and my 12th grade. At the end of 10th grade, I took the May 4th SAT 2024, and I got a 1500 with a 760 in English and a 740 in math. And this was pretty crazy to me because I got a better score in English than I did in math, and I always thought I was good at math, but I guess English just likes me more. But for this SAT, I actually only studied like the 3 days. I'm not even joking. The 3 days before the SAT, I skipped school, I skipped my exams, I just stayed home, and then for like 20 hours a day, I would just study SAT. I'm kidding, maybe not 20 hours, maybe like 18. But I ate while I studied SAT, I pooped while I studied SAT. Yeah, I really locked in those 3 days. And I was kind of disappointed with my score, but I was happy at least I got a 1500. The second time I took the SAT was shortly after the first time, so again at the end of my 10th grade, and I took it at June 1st, 2024. So I got another 1500. I guess like it really leveled out, that's my capacity. But this time I got a 710 in English and a 790 in math. And then for my last SAT that I took, which was at the beginning of my senior year, I took the August 24th SAT, and I got a 1510 with a 740 in English and a 770 in math. And although UT doesn't do super score, I super scored a 1550 with a 760 in English and a 790 in math. Okay, now on to the ACT. So Because my SATs didn't go very well, I took the ACT. My dad thought maybe I'd do better on it because the ACT is a lot more like math focused, I heard. So the first time I took it was at the end of my sophomore year. I took the June 2024 ACT and I got a 33 composite, and the breakdown was a 35 in math, a 28 in science, a 35 in English, and a 35 in reading. So I really flopped on the science part. Yeah, 28 in science. But when I took it the second time, in the summer between my sophomore and my senior year, I got a 34 composite with a 35 in math, a 36 in science, a 34 in English, and a 31 in reading. So my science really improved. Yeah, it went up 8 points from a 28 to a 36. The funny thing is, like, for that ACT, the second ACT I took, people were saying that the science section was really hard and that the curve, if you just get one question wrong, you don't get a 36 anymore. So I guess I just really cooked and on that science section because I guess I didn't get anything wrong in the science section. If you guys want to know like what resources I used to study for the ACT and SAT, please let me know and I will create a detailed video on everything I used. And again, UT doesn't do super score, but my super score for the ACT was a 35 composite with a 35 in math, a 36 in science, a 35 in English, and a 35 in reading. So now on to APs. I took 19 APs in my 3 years of high school. I took in my freshman year, I took human geography and computer science principles. I got a 5 in human geography and a 4 in computer science principles. In my sophomore year, I got a 5 in AP Bio, a 4 in computer science A 5 in AP Chemistry, a 5 in AP Calc AB, a 5 in Statistics, a 5 in Physics 1, and a 4 in World History. So I took 2 APs in my freshman year, 7 in my sophomore, and then in my senior/junior year, these scores obviously haven't come out yet because that was just like a few weeks ago. But they had me like list the APs I was gonna take on the website. So I took APUSH, AP Physics C, Mechanics and Electricity and Magnetism, AP Calc BC, AP Lang, AP Psych, AP Gov, AP Macro, AP Lit, and AP Environmental Science. I'm kind of sick right now, so I apologize for my voice and like the congestion, if you guys can hear that. But so now let's move on to teacher of recommendation letters. I got my teacher of recommendation letters from my AP Physics 1 teacher and my AP Chemistry teacher. Both of these teachers were teachers I had in my sophomore year. I think they went pretty well. So I know that you could you have to like get permission to see the letters from the Common App. You have to ask them to see it because it might be like lead to bias or whatever. But in my case, although my chemistry teacher didn't give me my teacher of recommendation, my physics teacher did send me privately my recommendation letter that she wrote me, and it was pretty nice. So, and I feel like because my major is chemical engineering, physics and chemistry are good teachers to get your recommendation letter from. So I feel like it is important to get teachers who can really explain how you would fit into the program that you're applying to. Okay, moving on into extracurriculars and that type of stuff. To be honest, this is like my weak spot. I didn't have many good extracurriculars since I only had 3 years. And And also, I didn't have much time for extracurriculars in the summer between my sophomore and my senior year because I was studying for the SAT, I was taking the ACT, and I mean, who thinks about doing extracurriculars between your freshman and your sophomore year? So yeah, I didn't have many good extracurriculars, but I'll tell you guys what I did have. So I took EDX courses. I actually took 2 of them, but I guess I only listed 1 of them. I took Anatomy 403.2x, Anatomy, Cardiovascular, Urinary and Respiratory Systems. Besides that, I also took ANSYS Innovation courses. My dad is actually the founder of ANSYS Innovation courses. So yeah, I can endorse these courses. Yeah, I took Fluid Dynamics, Introduction to Heat Transfer in Fluids in my freshman year. And then I took Fluid Dynamics, What Are Fluids, in my sophomore. And I also took Thermodynamics, Energy, and Thermodynamics in my senior year. So those were the 3 ANSYS Innovation courses that I did take. Extracurriculars, I also did piano. I have been playing piano since my 1st grade. I used to have piano recitals every 2 to 3 months from my 1st to my 7th grade. I played in church events. I also included like a list of my songs that I play, like a repertoire. You guys probably already know this if you guys are subscribers to my channel because I do post my piano playing. And if you guys are interested, you can watch them. So some of the pieces I included in my repertoire, however you say it, include Chopin's Fantasy Impromptu, Nocturne OP9 number 2, Moonlight Sonata, 3rd Movement, and Clair de Lune. Besides that, I also included Taekwondo. The thing about Taekwondo is I used to do it when I was small. So I did it from my 1st grade to 3rd grade, and then I had to quit, but then I did it again from 10th grade, and then I wrote to present. But actually, I stopped at the end of my senior year because I had to focus on AP exams, and my dad didn't really like me doing it, to be honest. And I guess the Taekwondo part wasn't really impressive because when I applied, I was only a yellow belt. I eventually got to green belt before I had to stop again, but whatever. I also said how I did art, wrote how I got an honorable mention in the New Hampshire PBS writing contest, as well as having my artwork chosen for the Casella Waste Management calendar, and I also designed my my elementary and my middle school yearbook. So that is all of the extracurricular activities I added in my resume. And now for the not extracurricular, but the other things that I did. I gave away bags for homeless. I'm still doing it now, but yeah, I just gave them hygiene bags and stuff like that. That's what I wrote about. I did that in the summer between my sophomore and my senior year. I'm still doing it. I also wrote about how I joined a church event called Mission Austin, and it's just volunteering at soup kitchen, food pantries, homeless housings, and etc. I've also wrote about being the family bookkeeper. I do the family finances, I do their I help with taxes, and I do the credit card stuff and everything. I also talked about other church help I did, we helped renovate a building. Me and my family helped renovate a building that was going to be given to the local church. And then I also listed just additional information that I like doing, like sewing and cooking. Okay, on to my essays. So I don't think I'm going to read my essays in this video. If you guys want a video on me reading my essays, please let me know. It's recording on my iPad because my essays are on my phone. So there were only 2 short answer questions I had to answer. I'm actually not very proud of my long essay question, or yeah, my long essay, yeah, question, so my long essay, not going to read it. In my long essay, I just talked about, like, the meaning of life and, like, helping others. But yeah, anyways, my short essay prompts were, the first one was, what experience during your high school years shaped how you are today? So for that one, I talked about how I did Taekwondo again, and how, like, even though I joined Taekwondo when I was late and everyone was better than me, like little kids were better than me and whatever, that I still wanted to do it, and how we shouldn't let, like, age stop us from doing what we want to do, or like make that a limiting factor. And for the second question, they were asking, why do you want to do, like, the major that you applied for? So I just talked about how like my chemistry class and my physics class, like, helped my teachers and whatever, just helped expose me to it. And yeah, that's actually just basically all I talked about. It was pretty basic. My essays were kind of basic. And I believe that is all I believe those are all my stats. Thank you guys for watching my video, and if you guys enjoyed, please like and subscribe. If there is a different type of video you guys want to see, please leave it in the comments. And good luck on your applications, or congratulations if you have already gotten your decision. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.